Welcome, folks. In a previous video, we had talked about how the BSA looks and feels. It's a true vintage icon, the build quality, and all of that, and all the features that we get. And in this video, it's time to focus on the performance, how this vintage icon performs in the modern world to compete and ride in the roads and conditions in this day and time. The Gold Star gets a 652cc single-cylinder liquid-cooled engine which produces 45.6 PS of power and 55 Nm of torque. When I first heard that it was a single cylinder, I had my doubts like everybody else, if it would be smooth, if it would have a lot of vibrations, how would it perform in comparison to its direct rivals, the twin 650s, and the level of smoothness and the refinement of the engine. I had all these doubts. To answer all these questions, I have to start from the beginning. When I switched on the motorcycle at idle, there was not much sound. The motorcycle was docile in nature. It didn't make a lot of noise, didn't feel like a 650, didn't have any rumble. Even at low speeds, when I started riding the motorcycle, it didn't make much noise. It was very smooth. And when I opened the throttle to experience its power, the acceleration, it pulled me back just like how the twin 650s pull you back when you open the throttle at an instance. The throttle response was good and the acceleration was pretty much just like the twin 650s. It had really fast acceleration. After 4000 rpm the power kicks in and it felt really good. The motorcycle has dual character. When you're riding it slow, it's smooth and nice and docile, and you can comfortably cruise. The gear ratio is perfect, so you don't have to shift gears often in city riding. It's very comfortable. Once you open the throttle, the aggressiveness, the power kicks in, and it gives you an adrenaline pumping experience, which is very good. And for a single cylinder, it's very smooth. The smoothness compared to the twin 650, it's not as refined as the twin 650, but it's definitely smooth and refined. There are vibrations in this motorcycle, but with the performance it is negligible and it will not bother you much. Now the character of the engine was very much similar to the previous SD and Java motorcycles that I've ridden. For example, the SD Scrambler, I felt the beat of the engine and the acceleration, the throttle, the gearbox, everything felt very similar to those motorcycles. And it is definitely not the loudest motorcycle. It is a liquid cooled engine, but in a neck to neck traffic situation, I could definitely feel the heat a lot on my legs. But in my view, when you're going for a bigger cc motorcycle, this should not be a complaint. The foot peg placement in this is right beside the engine casing, so definitely you feel the heat on your feet and legs. The acceleration on this motorcycle is pretty impressive. You have a 0 to 100 in approximately 6 seconds, which is close to the twin 650, which I really like. The acceleration, the throttle response as soon as you open the throttle, the way the motorcycle is ready to pounce, all of that, those characters I really liked about this motorcycle. Of course, not as fast as the twin 650s or as refined as the twin 650s, but this motorcycle has its separate character. The engine, the throttle response, the gearbox, it all has its separate character. It's a different motorcycle compared to the twin 650s. The motorcycle easily reaches speeds such as 120, and I did a top speed acceleration up to 160, although this motorcycle can do up to 170, 160. The motorcycle engine was not stressing too much. It felt comfortable to do these speeds, but the chassis, the back wheel, I felt like the motorcycle was wobbling a little bit. Felt like the motorcycle was not as planted as it should have been on the road. This reduces the confidence a bit when you're doing around the top speeds, but when you're at 100 to 120, the bike handles really well to cut across vehicles and ride it fast. The bike is nimble, it's very responsive to your touch, it listens to you. So you get disc brakes in this motorcycle, 320mm front disc with a 255mm rear disc with dual channel ABS. The braking is decent for a cruiser standards. The braking is good, but if you're going too fast and expect the bike to come to a halt very quickly, then that is not possible. It's not very crunchy, but it has a spongy bite, which is good enough for this motorcycle. The motorcycle comes with Pirelli Phantom Sports Comp, which is a really good tire. It has burning rubber, it sticks to the road, provides exceptional grip, and I was really satisfied with the tire's performance. You get 18-inch wheels in the front and you get 17-inch wheels in the rear, two different sizes. You have 100 bar 90 in the front and 150 bar 70 in the rear. You get hydraulic telescopic forks with twin shock absorbers in the front and the rear. The suspensions are more towards the softer side, so it gives you a comfortable city riding experience. When I said this motorcycle has a similar character to its smaller cc motorcycles like the Java or the YesD, the previous motorcycles, even the gearbox has a similar character to those motorcycles. The gearbox is clunky, it loves the upshifts, it shifts smoothly, but the downshifts and the rev matching, it's not so accepting. You have to spend some more time with this motorcycle and understand how the gearbox works, the perfect clutch plate to know how to downshift and make it a better experience. So it will take a while for you to get accustomed to that. This motorcycle has a 782 mm saddle height. I'm 5'4" and I could plant my legs properly, and it was a comfortable riding experience for me to handle this bike. Has a 201 kilo curb weight, maybe because I ride the twin 650s every day on an everyday basis. I found this to be an easy motorcycle to handle, but you should take the weight into consideration when you're going for this motorcycle. Other than that, the foot peg placement, the wide handlebars, the seating posture is very comfortable for city riding and long rides. It has comfortable seats, so the experience was really comfortable for me. The foot pegs are placed right next to the engine casing, and the liquid cooling system didn't control the heat very well, so that is an issue. And another issue was at the top speed, the bike didn't feel so planted. There was slight wobble which I could feel not so confidence inspiring. Other than that, it has amazing acceleration. The motorcycle's performance is really good for a single cylinder. It's really smooth. You wouldn't even realize that it's a single cylinder. It's not as fast as the twins or as refined as the twins, but it has its own character, and it comes in strong at 3.5 lakhs. In Pondicherry can go up to 4 lakhs. I think that it's worth the hype. So comment down below what you think about this motorcycle, and I will see you in another video. Until then, keep watching the Vintage Biker.